Greetings and welcome back to Moving Right Along, a Muppet movie podcast brought to you by toughpigs.com. This is the podcast where we watch Muppet Treasure Island 2 minutes at a time and talk about it a lot. I'm your host, Ryan Rowe.
I'm your other host, Anthony Strand.
And today our voyage through the movie continues with a familiar return guest. He's been on the show many times. Guest, who are you?
Hey, it's Grant Harding. And like the guest before him, he's an old friend from the Tough Pigs Forum. That's all I've got.
The look of anticipation on our faces. Yeah. That's a good start, though.
I'll finish it someday.
Yes, Grant, an old Tough Pigs friend. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here.
And you've been on every movie, correct?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. And you were on a special. Yeah, you were on Celebration of 30 Years.
Right. We spent a lot of time talking about the commercials in that one. That was fun.
We sure did.
5 movies on a special.
Well, today we're not talking about commercials. We're talking about minutes 49 and 50 of Muppet Treasure Island.
That's what you think.
Well, presumably, supposedly we're talking about it, in which Jim accidentally reveals that he had the treasure map and Mr. Arrow tests the lifeboats. So as these 2 minutes begin, Long John Silver completes his sentence to Jim Hawkins from last week. He is saying that Mad Monty, Polly Lobster, and Clueless Morgan could have killed your little friends looking for some daft treasure map. And now Jim starts to say, none of this would have happened if I'd given Captain Smollett the... But then right away he realizes he's given himself away. He wasn't supposed to tell anybody about it.
Jim is an idiot.
Yeah? You think so?
It's so fake. It feels so fake. I guess that's really what I mean. Like, I think that moment where he is about to say that he gave Captain Smollett the map and then stops is one of Kevin Bishop's least genuine moments in the movie, I think.
Yeah.
Because there's kind of no way to play that naturally. You know, that here's an important plot point. Oops, I shouldn't say that thing I already said. You know,
right.
So I don't know. It just feels very stiff to me.
Well, I was just gonna say we're 49 minutes into the movie. Long John has to find out about the map at some point. So
it's true. It's true.
They gotta get that out of the way.
Well, and also Jim is 13 or whatever. I guess to say I shouldn't say it and then say it all anyway. That's what a 7th grader would do. So that's not. I guess I shouldn't complain about that.
Yeah. And then there is this little cut to those 3 Muppet pirates because they can hear this whole conversation, and now they know about the map.
I like that.
Yeah. Polly kind of does a little bit of a double take, like, "Oh, did you hear that?" So Long John's interest is piqued, of course. He asks Jim if he's really got a treasure map, and Jim says not anymore because he gave it to Mr. Arrow to lock up, and he should be keeping it a secret. It's actually important, I realized, that he tells Long John he gave it to Mr. Arrow because of what's about to happen. Because we know that Long John already doesn't like Mr. Arrow, but if he had said, I gave it to Captain Smollett... Then
he's not going to trick the captain into leaving the ship, you know.
Right, exactly. But now this is what motivates Long John to get Mr. Arrow out of the way and to do it right now, or in 1 minute.
This is what I don't understand, though, because Silver is surprised to learn that the treasure map is more than just a rumor. It seems like he said there really is a treasure map.
Yeah.
So what did he think this voyage was for?
Well, that's a good question, but I'm not. I think he might just be acting. I think Long John is very good at manipulating Jim by playing dumb this whole time. But it is a good question of when did he suspect that this is the voyage that's setting out for the treasure, especially if we assume that Long John and these other pirates are acquaintances of the pirates who attacked the Admiral Benbow. I don't know if we should assume that or not, but maybe word just got around in the pirate community.
Fozzie's putting together a crew.
Yeah.
He gets Long John to help him assemble people. Long John gets a bunch of pirates, presumably because he knows that they're going to find the treasure.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
right?
And and as I said earlier already in the book, we know that Long John was an associate of the pirates who attacked the Benbow. Like when Jim goes to meet him at the Spyglass, Black Dog is there, and Long John and Tom Morgan disavow any knowledge of that man, like in the court or whatever. But clearly, he knows Black Dog, who told him about the map. You know.
Yeah.
But in the movie, that Black Dog is presumably dead. So who knows?
Yeah, and I think that would be like the movie would be showing its cards a little too early if they did something like that.
Sure.
Even though we know, because of the reputation of the character Long John Silver, we know that he's going to be a bad guy. They have to keep it mysterious a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jim is now worried that he even mentioned it. Long John says, "Don't worry about that. Well, you only told old Long John." But of course, that's not true.
So now I'm gonna say something nice about Kevin Bishop.
Oh, good.
Because Jim kind of like forces a smile or almost a smirk after Long John says, like, you can, and I really like that. You can see on Kevin Bishop's face that Jim doesn't really believe it. The way that he just kind of goes like,
okay,
you know, we're all friends again, sure, you know, kind of. And I think that moment is really well played.
Huh. So he's kind of doing the same thing that Long John is. Then he's kind of playing something other than what he's actually feeling.
I kind of think so. Like, I think he must be starting to suspect, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. By this point, he would have to. But yeah, no, it's not true that he only told the whole Long John, because we just saw Polly, Monty, and Clueless listening in. So
he told them in front of the guys that he already knows to be bad guys.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So he should probably be running off to make sure that Captain Smollett knows about this, but I guess he doesn't do that.
So as I said up front, Jim is an idiot.
Yeah, in this episode, he kind of is. You know, maybe that'll be the title of this episode, Jim is an idiot.
Idiot ball.
But then he just runs off to do his chores. But the camera lingers on Long John's face for a few seconds as he just kind of gets the sinister look.
There's also this moment where Jim is leaving and then he looks back and Long John gives him a thumbs up.
Yeah.
And I remember finding that quite sinister as a kid. But now it makes me think of nothing more than steamed hams.
Oh, sure.
When Chalmers is leaving and he looks back at Skinner and he gives him a thumbs up before he runs in to save his mother from the fire.
All right. So has anybody done steamed hams, but it's Muppet Treasure Island?
We should do it. Tough Pigs. Stick it out.
All right. Should think about that. I bet our friend Shane would be great at making something like that.
Oh, I'm sure he would.
I bet he would.
Yeah. So then, any other thoughts? Because we're about to leave this, the brig below decks here. Any other thoughts about the below deck scene?
Well, I actually do. I really like that after Jim leaves, the camera stays on Long John's face for, I guess it's 7 seconds.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And he does not say a word, but I feel like we know exactly what he's thinking. So, so I'm going to test that theory. I have my idea. Fellas, what do you think Long John is thinking after Jim leaves the room?
Well, he's formulating his plan.
Yeah, well, he's thinking, now I definitely have to figure out a way to get Mr. Arrow out of the way.
Sure, yeah, right. Yeah, I was just thinking that, like, he feels more than ever that getting the treasure is important. Like, hurrying up on getting the treasure map, right? Like,
right. I guess if I were watching this for the first time and you paused it there and said, "Now, what do you think he's thinking?" I might not have said that it had to do with Mr. Arrow, getting Mr. Arrow out of the way, but something to that effect. That
something evil.
Yeah, right.
I have to take action to get to the treasure now.
But it is fascinating to me that one of the things movies can do really well that they don't always do is just like convey information by watching someone think. You know, and it takes a very talented actor to do that. And I think maybe that's why a lot of times there's voiceover or something. But when you have a great actor, they can just show you, like, just with their facial expression. It's very impressive, and Long John, this is like watching a dang Kelly Reichardt movie for 7 seconds here. We're just watching him think.
I watched this clip with my daughter Juniper, who's 2.5, completely devoid of context. She hasn't seen the movie. And when it was holding on Long John and we were seeing his face as he was thinking, she said, "What's he gonna do?"
There you go.
Oh,
yeah.
Clearly he's gonna do something.
Right.
So just isolated, from the rest of the movie, she can tell he's up to no good.
This guy's gonna do something.
Yeah. Tim Curry should have been a silent film actor. He would have been great at it.
Well, and the music helps as well, because the music
if
really
he had
comes
been
in and
born at the right time. Yeah, the music. I mean, I was going to say that in a minute again too, but Hans Zimmer really, really doing his job here. Just this whole scene is just so spooky and ominous.
He really is one of the MVPs of this movie.
Yeah,
He does so much to make it feel exciting.
I don't know how the subtitles describe the music in this scene, but whenever I'm watching a show with subtitles on and it says exciting music, I'll tell you if it's exciting.
Yeah. Or music intensifying, or I was watching something the other day, I forget what it was, but the subtitle said something like music builds to a terrifying crescendo. I was like, no, give that subtitle writer a raise.
I'll tell you if I'm terrified. Don't tell me I'm terrified.
Yeah. Right.
Just, I don't know, it was very evocative, I thought. So then the next thing we see is the outside of the ship as it's sailing through a dense fog. And there's this low sound that echoes as we see the ship. Right away, we're assuming, or some people are assuming, that this is the ship's foghorn. Then we see Sam the Eagle as Mr. Arrow crossing the deck, and he passes by Angel Marie at the helm, and that's when we hear Angel Marie making the foghorn sound.
Safely now, safely. Steady as she goes.
That's extremely good. I like that quite a lot.
Yeah, it feels very Muppety.
One thing you kind of glossed over, though, that I wanted to talk about is, in isolation, watching this as a 2-minute clip, I thought that's yet another nice, different shot of the ship moving.
Oh, yeah.
Brian Henson really does keep showing us different ways that he can show a ship moving through water. Like this time it's the fog, of course. But as much doing the podcast, I'm enjoying all of them individually. But this was the week where I realized, watching the movie as when I watch it 100 minutes at a time, I think there's too many of them.
Oh, interesting.
I think too much of this movie is just shots of the boat sailing. Maybe you like that. It seems like you're into that more than I am. I don't know.
I think I am. Yes, I think I'm into a lot of things about this movie more than you are.
Well,
but,
yeah.
No, you're right though. That just, the fact that it's dark and foggy makes it different and interesting already. And then, just you can see Statler and Waldorf as the figureheads, but they're not bringing attention to them.
Yeah, they're just part of the ship's design.
Yeah, it's just you're just taking it all in, and it's the same ship but scarier, and that's great. I did look up the history of foghorns just because I was curious about the timeline of that. According to the website for the Van Isle Marina in British Columbia, the first foghorn was a steam-powered model. It was designed by Robert Foulis of New Brunswick and installed by an engineer named T.T. Vernon in 1859. So, Grant, fellow Canadians, invented the first foghorn. How about that?
Far out.
So Mr. Arrow tells Angel Marie, steady as she goes. Here's where I had my notes about how moody and spooky and eerie this scene is. Once again, the score by Hans Zimmer is just these sort of kind of mysterious droning sounds.
1859, you said.
1859, yeah. That's what I found.
The Origin of Species came out. That's later than Treasure Island is set, right?
Yeah, but 100 years after it's set. Yeah, it's set in 17.
So maybe Angel Marie really invented the foghorn.
Maybe he inspired the foghorn.
The foghorn, yeah.
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 Here's my question, though, about as long as we're talking about the origin of foghorns, you said it was invented in British Columbia?
This is what the Van Isle Marina website said. Yes. No. Okay. The Van Isle Marina is in British Columbia.
It was
invented in New Brunswick.
Okay, yes. That makes so much more sense because I was
her
like,
name is Alberta. She lives in
She
Vancouver.
lives in Vancouver, of course, of course. No, because when I was confused, I was wondering how did it get from the West Coast to the East Coast? Because probably not by ship. But if it was just invented in New Brunswick, that makes a lot more sense.
No, I am almost certain that this website that came up with that information was deliberately designed as an SEO friendly. When you Google when was the foghorn invented, they SEO optimize the Van Isle Marina page to bring up that article with that information.
Sure.
And then you're like, well, as long as I'm on this website, I might as well look into docking my boat at this marina.
I might as well go to the Van Isle Marina next time I'm in beautiful British Columbia.
Exactly.
You're Googling this while steering a boat.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
exactly.
right. Oh, where am I going to put this boat?
Where am I going to park my boat? Oh no, I'm coming up on Prince Rupert. Where am I going to park my boat?
Then Long John just kind of shows up out of nowhere while Mr. Arrow is making his rounds. He says, "Wicked fog tonight." And he's right. This fog is totally wicked.
It's like so wicked, dude.
So wicked, man. Tubular. He says, "Reminds me of the night we ran aground off the Pampas." And this would be a reference to a region of South America, the Pampas, which encompasses several provinces of Argentina, as well as all of Uruguay and the southernmost part of Brazil.
Did you read that same Wikipedia article as me?
That is part of where I got my information, yes.
That's where I got
So
it.
So did I, because I wasn't sure that the Pampas actually bordered any ocean, but I looked it up and they do.
They do, yes. It's on the coast.
It would be amusing if he was referring to some totally inland.
Yeah, right. Like if he was just like, we ran aground off the coast of Ocean View, Illinois.
Right. Something landlocked, and they were just it was a joke because they knew nobody was going to actually look it up or follow up on it. I did do a Control F for the word fog on the Wikipedia page and another website that I found about the Pampas. And then I Googled, are the Pampas foggy? And nothing came up. So I guess nothing, it doesn't seem like it's dangerously foggy there, but we can't verify that. But on this night that Long John recalls, half the crew drowned in leaky lifeboats. And it were a terrible shame. Yes.
Now, Sam is Kevin Clash here, right?
I would think so.
Yeah, I don't know if we know exactly which scenes Frank Oz was on the set for. But you're a puppeteer, Grant. So does the puppetry style of Sam look more like Kevin Clash?
I'm not one of those people who can tell by
okay,
how they move, unless it's a Dave Goelz character and he's spreading his arms.
Sure, of course,
yes.
Of course.
But it's interesting though, because it occurs to me like Kevin Clash, as is well known and discussed on this show, he doubled for Frank Oz's characters for most of this movie, or a lot of this movie anyway. And he also voiced Sam the Eagle in It's Very Yitka Excellent Primitives movie.
Right.
And he also voiced Animal for one line on Muppets Tonight. So I can imagine an alternate universe 1990s where Kevin just took over Frank's characters wholesale.
Yeah, I think that would have been fine, honestly.
It's hard to imagine what would have happened to Elmo in that case.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. It would have been different.
Now I'm going to throw something out there that I've always suspected, but it's not on Muppet Wiki, and I don't know if I am hearing things. I've always thought that Miss Piggy at the end of Dancing in the Dark on Muppets Tonight was Kevin.
I think she was. I think I read that somewhere.
But it doesn't say
it
doesn't say it on Muppet Wiki. It just says like this song features Kermit and Piggy, and then if you look, because what episode is it? I'm just hoping that a listener will like tell me if they have any of this.
I think maybe it was mentioned on a Barretta Brothers podcast or a George Lucas talk show.
Okay, I was just trying to remember if the George Lucas talk show marathon talked about it.
Because right now, Muppet Wiki for that episode, which is the Andy McDowell episode, says Kevin Clash, Clifford, and Miss Piggy puppetry, Frank Oz as Miss Piggy voice uncredited, but I don't think that's true.
Hi there.
Why did you stop dancing?
Oh, well, the music stopped and my midlife crisis is over. See ya.
Oh, no, you don't. I took 7 years of tap. We're tapping.
Tap. The dance of danger.
Yeah, listeners, if you have any information, let us know.
And add it to the wiki.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
yeah. I do think.
Anyway, I know it's off topic, but just as long as we were talking about it.
Yeah. No, it's on topic enough. I was just gonna say, I think Kevin's Sam was pretty good. He didn't actually get a lot to do. I think he only has one line in Muppet Fairy Christmas Carol Muppet ment thing, but
I own a T-shirt of it. There's a licensed Disney T-shirt of
what
Sam
about my Propecia?
That says it's hard to fly with eagles when you work with turkeys or whatever.
Okay, so he had more than one line.
Yeah, and there's a shirt, and I have that. Sure.
That's funny.
That's extraordinary that they made that.
Yeah, it's wild. It's part of my Frank Oz character T-shirt collection. I posted on Facebook that I had multiple Frank Oz character T-shirts, and I would love more. And then my sister-in-law Sydney gave me that Sam the Eagle shirt for the next Christmas.
Oh wow, that's great!
Wow,
which was awesome.
And you had to give it back because it wasn't Frank doing it.
That's right. I was like, "This is a Kevin Clash shirt, madam."
Wow. No, I was just thinking he did the voice of Sam in a Muppets Party Cruise, including the Precision Painter game where Sam thinks that the game is called Precision Painter, but it's actually called something different because it's a much messier game than he realizes, and then he gets upset that that's the game he's introducing. Anyway.
Speaking of a different Muppet Cruise.
Oh, yes, thank you so much. So here, Sam, we don't know, we think maybe Kevin Clash is doing the puppetry, Frank Oz is doing the voice here, and he says, leaky lifeboats? Long John says, yes, and he continues, a little used piece of equipment can fall into repair and become... And he pauses, and Sam completes the sentence, unsafe? Tim Curry briefly flashes this little grin. It's just the most... It's just such a wicked little grin, kind of reminiscent of the Grinch when he's cooking up evil.
Sure, I can see it.
Yeah, he says, I'm not saying our lifeboats are unsafe, sir. I'm not saying we got problems. And he kind of subtly just turns to see how Sam is reacting. This is one of the best Tim Curry scenes so far, I think.
Yeah, I also think this is a really good piece of story writing, because this is at this point in the book, Sam Arrow is dead, right?
Mr. Arrow. Well, yeah, and I'll talk about that in a minute when we open the strange case.
But I think it's a really nice piece of story writing. Silver uses the lifeboat test as a way to get rid of Arrow, and then the lifeboat, spoiler alert, is the way that Arrow comes to the island and returns to the story.
Yeah.
And then the final punchline that even though Long John made up that story about the boats being unsafe, one of them really was, and it's the one he used to escape with the treasure.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, his own lie
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I think that's really nice writing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's good. And I know I was trying to think of examples. I know there are other scenes like this in stories, movies, sitcoms where it's a kind of reverse psychology. A character is kind of pretending that they feel the opposite of how they feel, or that they don't feel a certain way, or they're not worried about something, with the goal of manipulating another character into feeling that, like feeling the opposite of the opposite way. The best example I could think of is when in Mary Poppins, when Mr. Banks is so incensed that Mary Poppins has been having wacky adventures with her kids and with his kids, and she sort of tricks him into declaring that he's going to take his kids to work at the bank the next day. But I don't know. There are probably other better examples that are closer to this. I don't know if either of you can think of any.
Not off the top of my head, but I mean, yes, it is common.
Yeah,
me neither. But it's 10 o'clock at night.
There you go. All right, listeners, it's up to you. Give us examples that are similar to this kind of manipulative reverse psychology. So Mr. Arrow is still thinking about it. He says, "Still," and then he heads over to the nearest lifeboat. Long John is just so satisfied to watch, that his plan is working. Then we cut to Sam the Eagle as Mr. Arrow sitting in a lifeboat. And hey, Sam has legs. That's not something you see every day.
Sam's legs and claws look so radical in this movie, like in this moment.
Yeah.
I think about it all the time. I'm not even
all the
kidding.
time?
Do you?
How often would you say?
I would say, well, now that we're doing this podcast about this movie.
Oh, sure. You've just been waiting for it.
All I ever think about or talk about is Muppet Treasure Island, because that's the prison that I've trapped myself in.
The brig,
built over the past 6 years. That's the brig that I've built for myself over the past 6 years.
Yes.
One of my greatest sources of joy over the past 24 weeks has been someday we're going to get to talk about Sam the Eagle's legs and claws.
Yeah, they are.
Because it's just such a night, like you say, you don't see them. On the Muppet Show, I don't think they would have looked like this had we seen them.
No, because they would have been billing them in a hurry on the Muppet Show.
Right. And there's just something about how, like, clearly the care put into making these very distinguished looking claws for Sam sitting in the boat. He has to still look like, the first mate of this boat, a man who came up through the ranks and has earned his dignified position, and he also has to look silly and adorable because he's a Muppet with legs, and somehow it's both of those things.
He did have feet in the Muppet movie when he's sitting in the movie theater seat, but you don't see them on screen. We only know this because of behind the scenes photos.
Huh.
Because I was going to ask, is this the first time? I figured there was probably an illustration before this.
So my friend Mike Artell has a blog post chronicling the various appearances of Sam's feet over the years.
Oh, wow.
In illustration. Sometimes they were blue, Mike. And sometimes they were yellow. He feels very strongly that they should be blue to match his beak.
I like them yellow, but maybe that's just because I'm, because of this movie. And the action figure.
Now, this is the website Mikey's Muppet Memorabilia Museum. That's the blog.
That's the guy. That's
and
the chap.
This blog post is entitled, "Sam the Eagle has blue feet," with 3 exclamation points.
Yeah.
So you're right. He feels very strongly about it.
We should link this in the show notes, I feel.
Oh, for sure.
We will. Is there a particular reason why he thinks Sam's feet should be blue?
Because his head is blue and beak.
I think because his beak is blue. Yeah.
Oh, I think that's what you said a minute ago. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Muppet movie in the theater, does he parachute at the end of Great Muppet Caper? I don't remember.
Yes, he does. But I don't know if we ever see
Does he have
feet.
legs? Yeah, or feet. Yeah, maybe not. All right. Well, but Anthony, I gotta say, I did not expect such a glowing appreciation of Sam's feet, but I'm really glad. I'm really glad you had those thoughts prepared.
Sure, I love it. It's one of my favorite things in this movie.
As a kid, I was quite surprised to see his feet looking like that. Like, intuitively, I thought he should have like fuzzy blue feet like Cookie Monster. But no, of course, he's a bird.
He's a bird. He has talons, I guess, is what those are.
Birdie feet.
Yeah. So, yeah. So he's inspecting the lifeboat. The caulking appears tight. No dampness under the gunnel. This one seems seaworthy. But then Long John says, they do, of course, until you get them out in the open ocean. Then we cut back to Sam, who seems to be considering this. And that's where this clip ends. So what's going to happen next? Is he going to go out in the open ocean? Is he going to go, it's probably good enough, and jump back in the ship? We don't know. We'll have to wait until next week.
I love that Long John knows that Sam is the kind of guy who, if you tell him we should probably test the lifeboats, he's going to do it now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is the guy who threatened to push Sweetums off the plank for not dusting the railing. So, yeah, he needs everything in, I mean, pun intended or not, he needs everything in ship shape right now. So.
Yeah. Drop everything. We're testing all the lifeboats.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how he operates. So, and Long John is very clever to take advantage of that. So I have, let's see. Yeah, I have a couple things from the June 1st, 1994 draft of the screenplay. This scene plays out very similarly, but there are two notable differences.
Now, was that? Can I interrupt for a second? Now, was that before they brought in James Hart to strengthen the Jim Long John stuff, or
I believe James Hart is credited in that. Yeah, okay. He is.
Right. Yeah, just wanted context.
Right. But the scene plays out very similarly, but it cuts back and forth between the conversation between Long John and Mr. Arrow and the rats on the cruise who are having a limbo party. I don't remember if we ever actually see them limboing in the movie. I don't think we do. But I think it's better the way it is because it would have been distracting and it would have undercut the sort of drama and, sinister things are happening.
Well, and I think the thing with Sam is just, it's not like laugh out loud, but it's an inherently funny scenario, too.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
Sam the Eagle is going to go check the lifeboats. Like, that's not, that's, like, I think another humorous scene would just muddle it up.
Now, what if Limbo the floating face had shown up at this point?
It'd be great. I'd be all for it.
Yeah. Sure, yeah. He could have given a speech about, I don't know, sometimes he has thoughts about ship safety.
Maybe, Limbo the floating face could have played Ben Gunn. That would have been awesome. Because Ben Gunn is just like saying those kind of thoughts. And that's, that would actually be in character.
I've been stranded on this island so long, all that's left of me is my face.
Right, exactly.
And then also in the draft, instead of Angel Marie, the helmsman is specified to be a Muppet octopus. So that would have been
so
fun.
Many arms.
Yeah, that'd be fun to see. And they have Muppet octopuses. So
the one
I don't know why they
from
didn't.
Octopus's Garden they could have used.
Right, they wouldn't have even had to build a new one.
So. Or the one from the right before this. There's a video? Is it? Easy Being Green.
The sing-along video,
that has an octopus in it because if you look up Splish Splash from the Jim Henson Hour on YouTube, it has a framing sequence with Kermit and an octopus.
Yeah,
That's
the
why
octopus
I know that.
Ends up in the control room with Kermit on the sing-along video for some reason. I don't remember. Mm-hmm. That was a fun sing-along video. All right, so that's all I have. Anything else on these 2 minutes? Grant, starting with you.
About these 2 minutes, no.
All right. Okay. Anthony, anything about these 2 minutes or anything from The Strange Case?
Who was it on the Discord who said you should call it The Strange Case of Dr. Movie and Mr. Book?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
That is good though. I do like that. I mean, I've said this on the show, I'm sure, but Old Curiosity Shop is a book nobody talks about. So I just thought it would be funny to say the name of Robert Louis Stevenson's other most famous book that is like such a stretch to tie it in with Treasure Island.
Yeah. It's also funny because when we have guests who haven't kept up with the podcast, we either have to explain it to them or just be satisfied that it's a weird non sequitur to them.
Yeah. So anyways, I'm going to crack open The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And so first of all, as I said, I think last week, none of this business about locking up the map is in the book. Like that's just, that does not happen. But Mr. Arrow does disappear. And the method of his disappearance is very different. Here's what it says. So I think I said earlier that like his function is just to be drunk all the time. And sometimes he's sober and able to do his job, but not very often. So here's what Jim says about this. In the meantime, we could never make out where he got the drink. That was the ship's mystery. Watch him as we pleased, we could do nothing to solve it. And when we asked him to his face, he would only laugh if he were drunk. And if he were sober, deny solemnly that he ever tasted anything but water. He was not only useless as an officer and a bad influence amongst the men, but it was plain that at this rate he must soon kill himself outright. So, nobody was much surprised, nor very sorry, when one dark night with a head sea, he disappeared entirely and was seen no more. Well, once again, nobody was much surprised nor very sorry.
Wow.
Jeez.
It's so dark.
That's cold, Obi-Wan.
Yeah, right? It's cold, Obi-Wan. Charles Barkley is our guest on the podcast today.
Is there an implication later, maybe anywhere that Long John was responsible or involved for that, or is it just kind of like, and then Mr. Arrow was gone? That was it.
Yeah, no. Long John was giving him the drink. Long John was straight up feeding him the drink.
Okay.
Yeah, yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. But the other thing I wanted to talk about from the book is, before recording, Grant, you brought up something from the book that we haven't discussed yet, which is that a lot of the pirates, the other sailors, call Long John Barbecue as an affectionate nickname.
Yeah.
And so I double checked, and this happens 7 times in the book, where and there's one. I'm sorry. Let me pull this up again. I have it on here. Long John Silver. And so the mention of the name leads me to speak on our ship's cook, Barbecue, as the men called him. This is when the ship is not moving. The coxswain Israel Hans said, "He's no fool, is Dick." And he turned his quid and spat. "But look here," he went on. "Here's what I want to know, Barbecue. How long are we going to stand off and on like a blessed bumboat? I've had almost enough of old Captain Smollett. He's hazed me long enough, by thunder. I want to go into that cabin, I do. I want their pickles and wine and that." So the officers are drinking to the health of the ship or whatever. And Israel Hans tells Barbecue that he's sick of it.
Yeah, come on, Barbecue. What's going on?
Yeah, so that's just one example.
So he should have sung at some point, "When you meet somebody that don't like soul food, they still got a soul."
You know what's true, though? The pirates, Old Tom, Dead Tom, real Old Tom, how much alike they are? Perhaps they're long-lost brothers.
Oh.
I don't know.
Wow.
And guys, actually the sail on the Hispaniola is actually Emmett's grandmother's bathing suit.
There it is. There it is.
Good.
There we go.
Good.
There we go. I knew we could find a joke in there somewhere.
There had to be one more connection.
Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas is great. We really should do it. We've never done an episode on the special, and we
probably will sometime. We'll go back and pick that one up. Yeah,
maybe this is not a promise, but maybe this Christmas, since we did John Denver last year.
It predated the Muppet movie, so chronologically you would have been starting after it anyway.
Right, and it's also not quite like the Muppet Show gang. Like Kermit's in it, obviously, but
it's not this cast of characters.
Right, but we do love it, so.
We do. Yeah, we can think about that.
Very good. Robert Louis Stevenson, whenever we talk about Robert Louis Stevenson, I always think of this short story called Computers Don't Argue. Did you guys know this one at all?
I don't think so.
It's a short story.
I assume he didn't write it.
No. It's a short story by Gordon R. Dixon from 1965. So it was weirdly prescient. It's a darkly funny science fiction story about the dangers of relying too much on computers without human oversight. And it concerns this man named Walter Child, who is trying to return a copy of the book Kidnapped by Robert Louis Stevenson. But various fields get transposed by accident on the punch card, so now they think he's kidnapped a child named Robert Louis Stevenson.
Oh.
And the judge assigned to his case queries the name and finds out that Robert Louis Stevenson is dead. It doesn't say he died 100 years ago at age 44. It just says he's dead. So now this guy's wanted for not just kidnapping this kid, but murdering him as well. And the whole thing gets worse and worse from there. It's wonderful.
Cool.
Wow.
Thanks for the recommendation.
Yeah. What was the title of that?
Computers Don't Argue.
Computers Don't Argue. Wow. Yeah. I'll definitely look for that. So
wait.
Grant,
you said it was sorry. I just want, before we move on, I just want to see what science fiction periodical it was originally published in. And the answer is Analog Science Fiction and Fact Magazine.
There you go.
Great.
One of the biggies.
Yeah, love it.
So, Grant, we ask all of our guests 2 questions. The first being, what's your history with this movie?
Yes, indeed. So I saw this movie in the theater. I lived then and still live now in Ottawa, Ontario, the capital of so-called Canada. And at that time, downtown Ottawa was lousy with movie theaters. None of them are left now. I'm sure it's the same for downtown of many cities. But I saw it at a theater called Place de Ville Cinema, which closed in 1996. And Muppet Treasure Island, along with Mr. Holland's Opus, was the last movie shown there before it closed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did you see Mr. Holland's Opus too?
No, I've never seen that.
Oh, it's not.
That's all right.
It's not what I would recommend.
If you given the choice, would you go see Muppet Treasure Island instead, or?
Don't make them choose.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say watch Brian Henson's earlier film Muppet Christmas Carol and Stephen Herrick's earlier film Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. That's my recommendation.
Okay.
Skip their mid '90s work.
I was reading about this cinema though, and amazingly, even though it's closed and abandoned, it's still there, empty inside an office building.
Whoa.
Huh. Cool.
So that's just waiting for somebody to buy it and reopen it.
Yeah. So you can.
Was
read
it just
about
a
that
one screen or 2 screen kind of?
I believe it was 2 screens. You can read about this on the blog, which is also a book, Ottawa Rewind by Andrew King.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So that's my history with this movie.
All right. And then the second question is, where do you rank this among or alongside all the other Muppet movies?
That's a difficult question because in my head it's close to the bottom, but I haven't actually watched it in about 20 years. More than that. For this podcast, I only watched the clip you sent me.
So then my question is, how often do you watch the others? Like, are there any others that you haven't seen in 20 years?
Space?
Or close to it. Yeah, sure.
Probably just Space.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
This one and Muppets from Space, yeah.
Sure. That checks out.
I will watch it at some point. I'll watch it with Juniper when she's old enough.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
She's not ready for this yet. There's too much sword play and gun play, and
there's a lot of guns and explosions.
She's a baby, and she's a sensitive little soul too. Whenever we watch Back to the Rock together, she makes me skip any scene where Pa Gorg is yelling at Junior. She's like, I can't handle it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She's such a little empath. It's very sweet. But yeah, when she's big enough, we'll watch it together. It's an interesting moment in Muppet history because I feel like at this point they're kind of going, what are we? We the Muppets. What
Sure.
And they go, maybe we're Monty Python. Maybe we do a genre movie. You mentioned that they talked about doing a King Arthur movie, and I'm glad they didn't because it would have just been Holy Grail again.
Yeah, that might have something to do with why
part of the decision. Yes, right.
But yeah, maybe we do genre stuff. Maybe we do Muppets Underwater, which
right, Muppets in the Old
Siegel
West
used to say. Yeah. My favorite part of this movie is the mosquitoes, which I think you mentioned.
Oh yeah, in the opening song.
In the opening song, yeah. My favorite part is the opening song, and my favorite part of that is the mosquitoes.
Sure.
Awesome. They're just so good. I love their little 5, 6, 7, 8 thing. I love the little rack focus from the people in the background to these mosquitoes in the far foreground. And I love that it raises all these cosmological questions about what is this universe where even the tiny blood-sucking parasites are made of foam and fleece and can sing. It's just
except those were very early computer animated
that's true.
Creature Shop characters.
True, but they were made to look like foam.
Right, they look like Muppets, yeah.
But it's kind of similar to the Muppet University sketch they did on the Muppet Show with Kermit the Protozoa and Fozzie Amoeba.
Fozzie Amoeba,
yeah.
Even at this tiny scale, they're still not that. Just raises so many questions. How does this world work?
Anything might be a Muppet. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Not everything is, but anything could be.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vegetables. Anything.
The sun.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then, if that's everything, we will wrap things up for this week. Grant, thank you once again for joining us.
Hey, thank you for having me. Love this show.
Yeah, it's always fun. Oh, thanks.
We love having you on.
Yeah. As always, thanks to Morgan Davy for our show's logo. Listeners, you can find Tough Pigs on the internet at toughpigs.com and all over social media. Also on TeePublic and Discord. We have that aforementioned Tough Pigs Discord server. A lot of fun over there. You can email us at movingrightalong at toughpigs.com. I am on Letterboxd at Movies Are Neat. Anthony's on Letterboxd at Zeppo Marxist. I'm on Blue Sky at Me Ryan Rowe. Anthony's on Blue Sky at Durwood Clapper. Grant, where can people find you and or your work online?
You can follow me at Abstract Grant on Instagram and YouTube. And my puppetry projects are on a bit of a hold because we just moved. And so my puppet workshop is still a mess. But if you like Fraggle Rock, and of course you do,
of course.
I just made my second trip to the University of Toronto Rare Books Library, and I found a lot of cool stuff in the Dennis Lee and David Young collection, some of which is on Muppet Wiki, and some of which is going to be on Muppet Wiki as soon as I figured out what I'm allowed to share. And I really want to, because it's really amazing stuff that nobody else has, and I want everybody to have it.
Yeah, I'm so because like when you found the storyboards for Song of the Cloud Forest, right? Didn't you add those to the wiki? That was incredible. And those unmade Fraggle Rock episodes and stuff.
Yes, unproduced
what's
Fraggle
the
Rock
title of that
episodes.
page on Muppet Wiki?
Yeah, it's called Unproduced Fraggle Rock Episodes.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
Some of them are pretty lousy, and some of them are really I want a really cool ideas, and I think they should bring them back for Back to the Rock.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah. But even and I agree that they seem to be of varying usefulness, but they were all fascinating to read about.
Yes,
yes,
exactly.
So thank you.
Yeah,
you're very welcome. Well, it's a pleasure.
Yeah, listeners, look for that stuff for sure. And listeners, please leave us a positive review wherever you can do that, and please let everyone you know, including people that you meet in a leaky lifeboat, let them know that this is a great podcast and they should listen to it. And join us again next week for another episode of Moving Right Along. See you then.
Foghorn sound.
Thumbs up.